James is in Clapham. You're on the radio, James, to talk about hijabs. What are you going to tell me? Good morning.
Good morning, Nick.
Did you know about your nose?
No, I didn't.
That's something to tell the wife or girlfriend tonight, isn't it? Have a look at this nose. What do you make of that?
Don't make me laugh, Nick. I come to make a serious point.
Uh-oh. Here we go, James. Have a go at me. Go on.
Right, Nick, as far as I'm concerned, right, the niqab should only be worn by children that are going through puberty, 13-year-olds and above, right?
Right.
So why are the parents basically pushing this on the children? That's all I want to know.
Well, I'm not a Muslim mum. I can't answer, but is it perhaps adherence?
Because, we want to integrate the children, don't we?
Yes.
We want to integrate them, but when they're coming through the niqab at the age of 4 or 5, they are standing out as different in the class.
Yes.
So is that what the Muslim parents want them to do? They want to be a population within a population. That's what it sounds like to me.
But what about the Sikh parents who send the Sikh boy with the, I think you do call it a handkerchief, and knotted in his hair? It's the same, isn't it? Or indeed the Jewish parents who send the boy with his yarmulke or skull cap.
Yes, because that has been grown up since they were children. The niqab has always been put through to say that a woman has reached puberty. At 5 or 6, it is not. So why are they doing it? Why do they have to stand out that they are Muslims?
Because they want to make sure that the child isn't being bullied into it against... I mean, there is no need for the girl to wear it at 6.
No, there's not. It's not. Not at 6. At 13, yes, I understand.
Oh, hang on. So I think we might... So you agree with primary school children they should be asked?
Yes, I do. Why are you wearing this?
Yes, OK.
Who is telling you to put this on?
So you agree... Why? I just want to clarify. You agree with it, yes?
I agree with Ofsted asking them why when
when they're 6. OK, stay on the line. Stay on the line, please, James, because I think Ali in Slough does not. Ali, you're on the radio. You don't agree with what Ofsted are doing?
No, I don't. I'm waiting for when they're going to put yellow stars on the Muslim children's arms to indicate...
Oh, ridiculous.
Absolutely. You've had your say. Why don't you politely listen to what I have to say?
Go ahead, Ali.
Parents choose what their children wear. My parents chose what I wore. I'm sure your two parents chose what they wore.
Yes, of course they did. Yeah.
And the fact that these are Muslim parents making a choice, and not every Muslim child wears a hijab at school, this is complete nonsense. And if they do choose to wear a hijab, what's the difference between parents sending their children all dolled up to school because they like that? At the end of the day, look, either you're going to allow people a choice or you're going to start taking us down to this daddy knows it all, big state nonsense. Absolutely outrageous that Muslim children should be picked on like this.
Let's get James back in. James, what would you say to Ali?
That's an absolute ridiculousness. If you want to assimilate into this country, then you have to be what we call...
I don't want to assimilate. Why should I have to assimilate? Who are you to tell me to assimilate?
They go Hindu state. Why are you pushing...
I don't want to assimilate. Why do you want me to assimilate?
Let's listen to Ali, James. Let's listen to Ali. Go ahead. Yes, he's asking why don't you want to assimilate?
I don't want to assimilate.
No,
I want you
but
to
why
accept
don't
me
you?
for what I am. Because I don't want to. It's my choice. You should accept me for what I am, not order me to be what you want to be. You know, I respect everybody's views. I'm a tolerant person. But don't give me this, I should assimilate. You should just grow up and accept people for what they are.
James? I sense James has gone, or is he... James, can you hear me? He's gone. OK, that's a shame, because I'd like to have answered that. All I would say to what James says, that you agree, though, that there should... If a child is being particularly aged 6... Oh, we have got James back. James, what would you say? Let's bring Ali back in. This will be more interesting. James, go ahead.
Well, if you want to be part of this society, then you have to assimilate. I've got no problems with the niqab being worn by somebody over the age of 13. But the ages of 5 or 6 is ridiculous.
Do you know the difference between a niqab and a hijab?
Yes.
Do you know the difference? What's the difference? Explain it.
Is to be worn by somebody that is 13 and above. And you are pushing... What is
a niqab? No, explain to me what
all right, OK, just you explain for the benefit of all the listeners the difference between the pieces of cloth, if you would, Ali.
We're talking about apples and pears, James, from your understanding. The hijab is a headscarf, rather like a nun wears, and we think that's all noble. You know, the Nativity play is coming up. I'm sure loads of kids are going to be walking around dressed up as the Virgin Mary, OK? And I'm not going to say, oh, well, how dare they? Everybody's going to be saying, oh, how sweet. But when it comes to a Muslim child who does, niqab is a full face veil, OK? The distinction couldn't be more great in this subject. So you're talking about the hijab, James, not the niqab. So perhaps you might want to...
am I right in thinking it's meant to for their modesty during the times of puberty?
No. with regard to the juristic injunction, that's a separate matter. And on that one, in this society, we don't go down that approach to religion.
No. But is the hijab to be worn when a girl approaches puberty?
That's the religious requirement, yeah.
Yes. So why is a 6-year-old wearing it?
Because she wants to wear it.
How do you know she wants to wear it? Why can't we just ask and make sure? Why can't we just ask and make sure?
Well, hold on a second. What business is it of yours to ask?
Because if she's being forced to wear it against her, if she's being forced to wear it against her will, that surely would be of concern.
No, it's not illegal.
No. Hang on. Who's brought legality into it? If a young girl of 6 is being forced to wear a hijab against her will, surely that is a concern.
Are you going to ask the same question Jewish kids that wear the skull cap, the Sikh kids that go to school with their turbans on, and so on? Are you going to do the same thing? How outrageous a point is that?
Well, some would say they see this as a form of a tool of dominance by men over women, the hijab. Some would say that.
Rubbish.
No, well, some people know.
Forcing women to wear mini skirts and advertising their bodies and flaunting. Oh, come on, Nick.
I don't think anyone...
Here we go.
James, hello?
Here we go. There we go. I didn't wait long for that, did I? So the young children are what you're saying are sexualised, but your children are not because they wear that. Absolute nonsense. You want to be a society within a society. It doesn't work in this country.
I don't want to live under people who force me to live under their beliefs, mate. You should just wake up and smell the coffee.
And just lastly to James's point, do you want to live as a society within a society, as James asserts?
What absolute trash and rubbish is that? Of course I don't.
Right. Well, why won't you assimilate then, some would say?
Well, listen, we don't have monoculture in this country.
No.
Want to make it like
he's
that?
not suggesting... No, he's not. No, he's not. No, he's never said monoculture. He just said assimilate.
Okay, what does that mean? Explain to me what you want me to do that I don't already do.
James, well, then we must go to the news after a little bit late. James, can you explain to Ali what you'd like him to do?
Well, I would like children to be children. If they want to wear the niqab, then no problem. I've got no problems with that. But at 13, why are you pushing on them when they're 5, 4, or 6, or 3?
We must leave it there, James. Thank you. Ali, thanks to you as well. We're way late.
Okay, so on the children wearing the hijabs, this is very simple. As most people should be aware by now, Muhammad married a 6-year-old child called Aisha. And because Islam is based on what Muhammad did, his sunnah, the way of Muhammad, they know even now in the 21st century it is acceptable for a creepy, middle-aged Muslim man to marry their daughter. They can say nothing against it because the Muslim man can say, well, Muhammad did it, so I can, and that's it. And the only weapon they have, or the only defence they have against that happening, is to make their child less attractive, and that involves putting on a hijab. Bingo! It's so straightforward. And the issue I have is you have people like Nick Ferrari and this caller trying to understand why they are doing this and getting answers like, well, the child wants to wear the hijab. No, it's bollocks. But of course, they can never talk about Muhammad marrying a child, as that would open a massive can of worms, and LBC will not allow it. The best part of this discussion, though, had to be Nick Ferrari timidly asking this Muslim man why he does not want to assimilate. Even at the end, saying, "Why won't you assimilate then?" some would say. He doesn't even have the bollocks to ask it directly. He says some would say. Yes, some racists or fascists or whatever, xenophobes, might say, why aren't you assimilating? But I don't care. You be you and I'll be me. Jesus Christ. Nick Ferrari, you absolute fucking piece of shit. Yes, you cowardly, ugly Jabba the Hutt looking freak. How dare you be on your hands and knees begging this Muslim man and be like, oh massa, why won't you assimilate? Jesus Christ, Nick. Have a backbone, you cunt. So, anyway, please let me know your thoughts on more cooking from the great Nick Ferrari. And do you think there is any hope for this man? or is he the eternal Dimmy? Like, dislike, subscribe, unsubscribe. Please comment. Ilu, Sassoon. Peace out.